So anyway, yeah, I'm Camper. I serve as the pastor at Grace Covenant Presbyterian Church. I've lived here for about 5 years, but as Sharice pointed out, I have a long history with InterVarsity. Love this ministry, in part because it had a huge impact on my life. I was just thinking about it. It was 22 years ago this fall that I walked into an InterVarsity meeting at Wake Forest, and the Lord really began to do some amazing work in my life. So involved in college, right after college, was a ski instructor in Colorado, and then like most ski instructors, I retired right away and came on InterVarsity staff. So I got to spend 6 years at University of North Carolina. Through all that time, got to hang out with Marty and Carolyn. Marty taught me everything that I know about small group leading. And you still teaching people all about small group leading? Yeah. All right. So, and let's see. That just gives you a little bit of context just about me. Right before I was here, I grew up in Georgia, then school at Wake, then out to Colorado, then back to North Carolina, then went to Vancouver, Canada, then to Virginia. So I kind of like to do very long travel. But tonight we're looking at, and I noticed on the slide that my topic wasn't listed, but I'm glad to see this right. It said, "Thank God," and I was looking for trust, and I didn't see. But that's what we're on. We're on God and trust tonight. And let me ask you just a few questions as we get started. So not the first one, not an exact answer because it would vary from survey to survey, but about how many Americans say that they believe in God when surveyed? Anybody? 80%? Okay. Others?
100%.
100%. I don't know that it's somewhere in between. What's that? 90. See, that I typically hear about 90, so close to 80, not quite 100. But what do you think most of those people mean when they say I believe in God? Or what do many of those people mean? I don't want to say most, but what do you think a lot of those people mean?
A belief in a higher power,
okay,
the name of God, that somehow controls the universe in some way.
Okay. So some kind of general idea of a higher power. Okay, other thoughts?
Belief in a God, but not necessarily believing in God.
Oh, yeah, okay. Belief in a God, but not necessarily in God.
Or anything remotely close.
Okay. Yep, in the back.
They usually believe in heaven, maybe not hell, but...
Okay. Yeah, so thinking about a heaven and maybe even what's next. Of the 90% then of us who say we believe in God, then the next question is, do we really trust Him? Do we really trust Him? And I'll be using belief and faith and trust kind of interchangeably, but at least in our English language, we sometimes mean different things. Like, I can believe that I have a mom and dad because I can see them, but do I really trust them? That's a different matter. Well, we're going to be in the first part of John 14. So if you've got a Bible, that's where we're going to be. Actually, not just the first part, but the first verse alone. And Jesus is speaking to His disciples. Let me set the context for you. And if you've rarely, if ever, gone to church, you'll probably still be familiar somewhat with this just because of television and film. But we're in the final day or two of Jesus' life. We've got the Last Supper in John 13. Jesus washes His disciples' feet, predicts His own betrayal and the denial of Peter denying Him. And so what's happening with the disciples is they really hit a place of confusion and anxiety and doubt and fear. And if you're anything like me, those are feelings you can relate with. Just all the various uncertainties of our life. I'm sure if you are a freshman here. You've just started to get used to being on campus. But I remember very clearly, my first day as a freshman at Wake Forest. I remember so much of that first year wondering, was I going to make it? Was I going to, the first big test, which was at 9:30, and I woke up at 9:30. And I wanted to call my mom, but that wasn't going to do any good. But there are those moments of real doubt and uncertainty. What's the future hold? Some seniors in here. Okay, I don't want to start talking about that. It's only September. You still have months of denial. So at least wait until after Urbana to start worrying about that. But life is uncertain, no matter what. But for all the uncertainty, there is one constant, the one who is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There is one constant, the one who in John 14, and we won't look specifically at this, but the one who is the way, the truth, and the life. There is Jesus, the rock. And that is the one that we need to cling to.